nice to be here. Thank you so much. As she said, I'm Carla Guzzetti. I'm Chief Product Officer for Extreme Networks. For those of you who are not familiar with Extreme Networks, we've been in networking and security for over 26 years. And we've just recently released our latest cloud management and security platform, which is AI native first, called Extreme Platform One. If you don't know who we work with, for Mobile World Congress, we work with some of the biggest telcos in the industry, including T-Mobile and Ericsson. But there are also quite a few networks that run on Extreme, including the NFL, the MLB, Go Mariners. I don't know if we have any Mariners fans out there. Yeah, we're going to take it. In addition to that, we also run FedEx, and the Burj Khalifa runs on Extreme. So we know exactly what it takes to really oversee and develop complex networks. But first, let's talk about why agentic AI and why now. What we're seeing in the network industry and in the security industry is a proliferation of applications for cloud management, security management, and also we're seeing complexity increase. 80% of IT leaders have said that the network and security management is more complex than it was just 2 years ago. And nobody's getting any extra staffers. Time and staff are not competing with that level of complexity, which makes it rife for an opportunity with AI. People are being asked to do more and more. And so when we looked at how we were going to build Extreme Platform One, and when we looked at what our AI strategy was going to be, it wasn't so much what kind of AI was actually going to work, but how are we going to apply it to the real world? And at Extreme, that's where we really started. Our philosophy really starts with the people, not the technology. It's my personal belief while we built Extreme Platform One, and what we saw in the networking industry, is that we weren't addressing how can we make it easier for our customers to accomplish their jobs. And when you're building a platform that has to be AI-centric and AI-first, how does the AI potentially actually take over that job for them so it can drive efficiency? Or, depending on its level of trust, how does it assist with what it's going to do? We became obsessed. I spent about 3 years researching, looking into what do our customers do, evaluating their day-to-day, interviewing their employees. We became obsessed with personas, jobs to be done, and also how do we apply those journeys. One of our very first customers that worked with us was the Bath Council out in England. And before, their biggest problem was they have a huge distributed network and an exceptionally small team. So before Extreme Platform One, they spent hours of manual labor trying to triage the issue. After Extreme Platform One, we had AI that surfaces insights automatically, and that gave them time back. But you can probably take my word for it, and unfortunately, they couldn't join us today, but they did send this testimonial for us.
Hi, my name's Wayne Goodliff. I'm Chief Technologist for Networks and Cybersecurity. Now with Extreme Platform One, we're able to take a holistic view of the network. We are also able to see multiple entities in terms of licensing, procurement, inventory, all in one console. With the AI component of Extreme Platform One, it brings a new virtual member of the team, which effectively allows us to serve our users better. I found the user experience easy to navigate. Everything is within a click of a mouse. When you drill down, all the information is relevant. Even information that you might have seen in Cloud IQ is there in Extreme Platform One, but in a much simpler format, which is much easier to use for troubleshooting. I think one of the objectives of Extreme Platform One was not to be able to read through a manual, to be able to use it, and I think Extreme have accomplished that. Your network is only as good as you can manage, and Platform One takes it to a new level.
So what we really wanted to focus on when we did this was creating clarity, so there's less noise, control so that humans stay in control, they know what their next step is, but most importantly, confidence. Trust and transparency, particularly when it comes to managing your network and security, is paramount. And we know that our users, they have to check everything, because if the network goes down or there's a security breach, that means students aren't learning. It means the business is losing money. Those are the things that we have to focus on. So when we started to think about this, and we had to rethink about how AI actually worked, and the thing that we said to ourselves, and we kind of made fun of ourselves because we actually have a product out called Copilot. We said it has to go from being a Copilot to agentic AI. It can't just advise you on what next to do, it has to proactively be able to work on your behalf, to be able to take action. So what we really wanted to do was to make sure that it could work autonomously. And so Extreme Platform One has an agentic layer of multiple specialized agents. In order to make the interface for the customer easy, we only have 2 lead agents within the platform. But behind them are multiple teams of agents that are calling on our knowledge base. We have over 720,000 pages of technical documentation and service support documentation that customers used to have to sift through. We've created that, tagged it, and it has its own AI service. We have created tools and also an LLM. So the whole group of agents behind the lead agents decides and focuses on specific areas like health, security, UX, and they share the context and act collaboratively, but to the user, it's just one agent that they're talking to. But the most important thing that we know is that humans stay in the loop. So we had to think about how do we make sure that they have control over how the agents are going to work. We thought about deployment scope. For a network, we need to make sure that it's going to a specific site, or it could go to your entire network. We have to think about action scope. What is the agent allowed to do on your behalf? What is the agent not allowed to do on your behalf? And then finally, and most importantly, human in the loop. We think a lot about the trust curve. There are going to be certain actions that you feel confident to assign to an agent, and the more and more you use it, the more confident and trusting you become of their actions, and you know that it's been trained and that it's going to take all the right steps. But you can choose exactly when you want them to verify with you, and you can change that status over time. The architecture is this is the architecture that powers Extreme and makes it into one. I'm going to talk about one of our first agents that came with Extreme Platform One, and that's our AI service agent. Like I said, rather than having to work with multiple agents, we introduced the first lead agent, which is our service agent. Today, for our customers, and I don't know how many of you have ever had to manage a network before, but it is sometimes a little painful. So, for example, if you find a problem in the network, what can happen is if you can't troubleshoot it immediately, you might go to your technical documentation, sift through that documentation, try to figure out what the problem is, then troubleshoot it yourself. If you can't troubleshoot the issue, then you have to register a ticket. In order to register a ticket, you have to take screenshots of everything that you've done to try to make it work. Then you have to write up a summary. Then you have to call your partner. Then you have to make sure that you schedule a call. This can take anywhere between hours to days, and in some cases, when I've spoken to customers, they said, oh yeah, actually we're struggling with this right now, and it's taken us a week. So you can lose massive amounts of time trying to figure out what one issue is. What we did with the service agent, and one of the simplest use cases that immediately saves time and reduces complexity for the customer, is we have the agent A try to work with you to troubleshoot it, and then B, proactively take all of the evidence as you go through troubleshooting it, the screenshots, the summaries, everything. And then the agent proactively logs the ticket with our services or with our partner services. This provides consistency. It makes sure that we get feedback into the platform, so we're always generating new ideas, and also it helps us save time, and our customers went from days to sometimes even weeks into minutes. Depending on the complexity of the issue, Service Agent can register your ticket, collect all the evidence, and help you and get things resolved in anywhere between 3 to 20 minutes. So, how did we all bring this together? We brought it together in Extreme Platform One, with unified simplicity. We are the industry's first all-in-one AI-driven network, which unifies networking, security, automation, and AI. Our goal was to focus on having fewer tools, simpler workflows, and faster upgrades. So in some cases, we took customers from 8 clicks to 1 click, which is a 90% increase in efficiency, and in some cases, no clicks at all if you wanted to work with AI. We made sure that the experience was conversational. We also made it visual and intuitive. We introduced AI Canvas within Extreme Platform One, so you could build a BOM, model your network, do all of those things with AI. And we're already seeing the results. We GA'd our product just 60 days ago. It's been the longest 60 days of my life. And I have to tell you, we are very excited. The adoption of our Agentic AI features are up 238% compared to our previous product, Copilot. And that's because we thought about AI being at the center of the product, making sure that it's easy for customers to access and intuitive for them to use. We also continue to see this engagement grow over time, month over month. We're up 37%. So last, I have to do it because my marketing team would murder me if I didn't. But if you would like to see demos about Extreme Platform One, we do have them on our website. We just GA'd our product. We have so much coming. We're actually going to be doing an AI summit in just a couple months about more things to come with AI. But it's an incredible space, and it's an exciting time for Agentic AI. So thank you so much.
Carla, that was quite nice. Maybe if you have time, I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
I think we see that there's a lot of opportunities in cost reduction and improvements and efficiency and all that. But how do you build the trust your clients? How do they get to trust the Agentic AI to make the decisions for them? I know you have human in the loop. You said all decisions have to be approved and all that. Is that how long does it take, this process?
Well, it takes some time, particularly in security and networking. And like I said, when we think about trust, we really thought about trust in a curve. And actually, when we thought about how customers wanted to engage with AI, we really thought about the AI agent as a member of your team. And so that trust is sort of in parallel to how an employee would grow within your company. You know, the base level being sort of an intern, saying, okay, go and do this research. I want you to go and do this 1 or 2 things, and then just check back in with me and make it easy. Things that you trust them with. Go and get me coffee, right? Go and build me a bill of materials. These are low-risk tasks that you trust, right? And then over time, we built it up, and we thought about, okay, what would a mid-manager do, and what would a senior vice president do? And that is really how you train the agent, and you become more and more comfortable with what they're doing. And again, that human in the loop level, it's up to the user. We put our default as very low because it's up to the user to determine how comfortable and confident they feel in that AI. That's why we thought about deployment scope. Is it an individual site or something that you're comfortable with across the entire network? All network actions, that's a major piece of trust. So we needed to be able to break it out in those sort of 3 vectors as they felt more comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.